The Earth keeps its secrets well. And as we saw in the first video, extinction isn't always the end. Sometimes it's only a pause in a story we don't fully understand. Across jungles, frozen rivers, deep mountain valleys, and oceans darker than night, people continue to report sightings of animals that should no longer exist. Shadows moving where nothing should move, footprints far too fresh, and calls echoing from species long declared gone. So today, we continue that journey. This is part 2 of extinct animals that might still be alive. A new list of 8 creatures once believed lost forever, yet still whispered about in the most remote corners of the world. Let's begin. 1. The Beiji, the extinct river dolphin of China. Our first creature vanished only recently, or so we think. The Beiji, China's Yangtze River dolphin, was declared functionally extinct in 2006 after pollution, relentless boat traffic, and decades of overfishing devastated its population. But the river did not fall silent. Just months after the extinction announcement, multiple fishermen reported seeing pale gray shapes surfacing at dawn. Some described a sleek body gliding just beneath the surface before slipping back into the current. Others claimed to hear faint whistles echoing between passing ships, whistles identical to the Beiji's known call. In 2011, a research team recorded an underwater signal that closely matched the dolphin's vocalizations. Then in 2018, a crew near Moho reported a dolphin with the Beiji's distinctive long snout rising beside their boat before vanishing into muddy water, as if deliberately avoiding attention. The Yangtze River stretches over 6,000 kilometers. It is murky, chaotic, filled with silt and noise, and impossible to fully survey. Some scientists now believe a tiny hidden population may still survive, slipping through the water just out of sight, quiet enough to evade the modern world. 2. The woolly rhinoceros. Next, we travel back into the Ice Age. The woolly rhinoceros once roamed across Europe and Siberia, sharing frozen plains with mammoths and early humans. It was massive, thick fur, enormous shoulders, and 2 curved horns capable of cutting through snowdrifts like blades. Officially, it vanished around 10,000 years ago. But Siberia's wilderness tells another story, one filled with rumors, tracks, and strange remains. Hunters in remote villages have reported huge dark shapes moving across distant snowfields. In 1920, explorers claimed to find a corpse so fresh the flesh was still red, but it decomposed before scientists could examine it. In recent decades, motion-triggered cameras have captured large, horned silhouettes passing through tundra fog, too large for musk oxen, too quiet for bison. As permafrost melts, ancient bones and frozen remains emerge almost every year. Yet some locals insist that not everything coming out of the ice is dead. Siberia is nearly the size of a continent, with countless untouched valleys and ice caves that have never been mapped. If any Ice Age titan still walks the earth, this might be the one. 3. The Irish slender wolf. This next animal comes from Europe's forgotten forests. The Irish slender wolf, sometimes called the Celtic wolf, went extinct in the 18th century. Smaller than modern wolves, long-legged and built for speed, it once hunted deer across Ireland's open plains and rugged hills. But long after its extinction, strange reports continued. Farmers described a wolf-like animal that was too slender to be a dog, too tall to be a fox, moving with a quick, elastic gait unlike any known species. One farmer claimed it leaped over a stone wall with impossible ease. Another described an eerie, high-pitched howl that didn't resemble modern wolves or coyotes. Then, in 2018, hikers in County Wicklow filmed a long-bodied canid sprinting across an open hillside. Wolf experts later examined the footage and agreed its proportions didn't match any known living species in Europe. Ireland still contains vast protected forests, peat bogs, and mountains where human presence is rare and sometimes impossible. Some believe the Irish wolf may have survived far longer than history records and may still be hiding where no one thinks to look. 4. The great auk, the northern penguin. Now we move into the cold North Atlantic, where one of the strangest disappearances in history refuses to stay closed. The great auk was once known as the penguin of the north, a flightless seabird nearly 3 feet tall, with a glossy black back and a bright white belly. Hunters wiped it out by 1844, killing the last known pair on a remote island near Iceland. But sightings never completely stopped. Sailors in the mid-20th century reported large black and white birds swooning near Icelandic cliffs, diving deeper and faster than any living species in the region. In 2008, fishermen off Newfoundland reported seeing a pair of birds diving in perfect synchronization, the same unusual behavior the great auk was known for. Then in 2016, a wildlife photographer captured a blurry yet unmistakable silhouette on a distant rock. Short wings, upright posture, and the auk's distinctive rounded head. The North Atlantic is vast, foggy, and unforgiving, filled with uninhabited islands, jagged cliffs, and sea caves where few humans ever venture. If even a single breeding group survived in those remote places, the great auk could still be gliding beneath the waves today. 5. The Zanzibar leopard. Now we move to East Africa and one of the most controversial extinct animals in the world. The Zanzibar leopard was declared extinct in the 1990s after decades of intense hunting. Locals believe the animal possessed supernatural powers, leading to widespread eradication campaigns. But the forests tell a different story. Villagers have long reported a spotted cat moving like a leopard, but smaller, slimmer, and unusually silent. Livestock were found with wounds matching leopard attacks, despite no known leopard species officially remaining on the island. Then, in 2018, something extraordinary happened. A camera trap recorded footage of a leopard-sized animal sprinting through Jazani Forest. Its proportions didn't match any known species, and experts were unable to identify it conclusively. Some biologists now believe the Zanzibar leopard never truly vanished. It simply adapted, became more elusive, and learned to avoid humans entirely. 6. Gigantopelios, the giant Mediterranean turtle. This next creature is almost forgotten outside paleontology. Gigantopelios was an enormous prehistoric sea turtle, larger than any living species today, with a shell wide enough for a person to lie across. Yet modern sightings in the Mediterranean suggest something unexpected. Fishermen near Crete describe enormous dark domes rising beneath their boats, accompanied by slow, heavy movements in the water. In 2015, divers near Cyprus reported encountering a turtle the size of a car, drifting silently through deep water. They insisted it wasn't a leatherback. Its shape was wrong, bulkier, thicker, and far slower. The Mediterranean contains thousands of underwater caves, volcanic channels, and deep trenches that remain largely unexplored. So the question remains, if these sightings aren't known sea turtles, what exactly are they? 7. The Moho, Hawaii's lost songbird. Our next creature was said to vanish, yet its voice may still echo through the rainforest. Hawaii was once home to a remarkable group of birds known as the Moho or Oo birds, admired for their glossy feathers and haunting whistles. The last confirmed species went extinct in the 1980s due to habitat destruction and invasive predators. But the jungle hasn't gone completely silent. In 2020, researchers on Kauai recorded a whistle nearly identical to the call of the extinct Kauai Oo, a sound no living Hawaiian bird produces. The call echoed through a rainforest valley moments before rainfall, exactly when Oo birds were known to sing. Locals have reported hearing the same descending notes deep within remote forests, often at dawn or dusk. Steep cliffs, dense vegetation, and inaccessible ravines make parts of the islands nearly impossible to survey. Some experts quietly believe at least one Moho species may still survive, hidden where human footsteps rarely reach. 8. The Caspian tiger. For our final creature, we turn to one of the most powerful predators ever to roam the continent. The Caspian tiger once lived across Turkey, Iran, Central Asia, and deep Russian forests. It was declared extinct in the 1970s, a victim of hunting, war, and habitat destruction. But almost immediately after its disappearance, sightings began. Villagers in eastern Turkey reported massive striped cats moving through tall grass at night. Their roars, low, rolling, and deep, didn't resemble any known big cat in the region. In Tajikistan, herders found claw marks far too large for snow leopards. In 2004, a footprint discovered near a river in Kazakhstan matched a tiger perfectly, despite no known tiger species living anywhere nearby. Then genetic studies revealed something astonishing. The Caspian tiger and the Siberian tiger were nearly identical. This means Siberian tigers may still wander into former Caspian territories, or remnants of the original population may have survived unnoticed. The forests and mountains of Central Asia are vast, dangerous, and rarely surveyed. A predator this powerful could still walk there today, unseen but not gone. Extinction isn't always the end. Sometimes it's only the beginning of a deeper mystery. Across jungles, mountains, swamps, oceans, and frozen grasslands, people continue to see things they can't explain. Footprints that shouldn't exist, shadows that move unnaturally, calls echoing from species long believed gone. The truth is simple. We have not explored this world enough to speak with certainty. Maybe these creatures vanished forever, or maybe somewhere in the untouched places we never think to look. They're still alive, waiting to be rediscovered. If you enjoyed this journey into Earth's forgotten animals, there's always more waiting beneath the surface. Until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what might still be out there.